Okay, YouTube, we are back with another video, and what we was talking about on part one was just giving you guys a little storytelling time. We're telling you about how we got situated when we jumped out on faith and moved from Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, to Dallas, Texas. So, as you can know, on the last video, we was telling you that we got situated with Jack and Jill. We wasn't going to use any real names in none of these videos, so we won't offend or have any type of conflict of interest with anybody, So we're
right. We want to keep it classy, keep it professional, tell a little bit of our side a little bit, because I feel like it's inspiration to anybody who's looking to move wherever you want to move at in the world, or not even move a goal. We want this to be an inspiration to whoever is watching this. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment, and drop any topics down below that you would like for us to speak on. And yeah, let's get into the video.
All right, guys, so now it's the next day and we just woke up. We made a pallet on the floor in a one-bedroom apartment. We did have some blankets because, like I said, we had the Tahoe and we had stuff all around us. So when we got there that night, everything was okay, and we got to the point where we was going to sleep. We woke up. Now, the way I operate, I have to find a job. Now I have to hurry up and figure out a way to make some money. So I was checking on Craigslist. And I was doing everything I could every day. So Brittany, her big role in our household at this time was being the great mother that she is. She did everything she was supposed to do with the kids. So I was trying to do what I could. I had high hair back then. I didn't have like the low cut.
No haircut.
No. I didn't have a haircut.
Hair was wolfed out.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't know how to do my hair.
Oh man, I was so broken. Oh man.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
But I searched on Craigslist, guys, and if you know how Craigslist is set up, you can look for, I think, jobs, and then I looked in jobs, and they give you different categories, office job, whatever. What the problem I was having is all the good jobs that I was seeing that I could probably work and go to the interview for is that they were in Dallas. We were in Fort Worth. Fort Worth is real different from Dallas. So I was looking over and over and over. I was looking at all type of stuff, guys, like maybe for a week straight. All I did was look for jobs, and we had food stamps. We still had food stamps from Mississippi because we had, I remember the little yellow card. We had food stamps from our last days.
Y'all know what that card look like. It's yellow. It's the little gold card.
Oh, it's a gold card, yeah.
No, it's yellow gold.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making it cute a little bit.
And we had that, and that's all we had. That was the only income we had was food for our kids. So we was living off of that, and I got up to the point where after a week, I met this guy on the phone because I seen this ad said, tired of being broke. So, man, all the stuff I was going through, of course, that ad reached out to me on Craigslist, tired of being broke. So when I called the person on that ad, I ended up speaking to this guy. And you know what? I don't think that this person will mind at all that I mention his name at all, because we are good friends.
We still tight.
Yeah, we are still tight to this day.
Our baby boy is born on his birthday.
On his birthday. It's so strange, guys. So his name is Troy Bly. The way we connected is he was telling me he kind of like lived on the road. What we connected on is this company we was a part of, National Agents Alliance Insurance. So he wasn't licensed yet, but he was making money off of temporary license. In Texas, you can get a temporary license, I think up to 3 months with Columbia Financial Group. Yeah, so he was working off of that, and he was just telling me different stuff. We was really connecting because he was from Gary, Indiana. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. We both talked about likewise with crime and lack of opportunity. So we really had a lot of good rapport. So me and Troy was working back and forth. I was gonna join NAA. So I did the training, I set up, I did all the different things. So after I got set up for the insurance, my mother-in-law, her mom, she drove to Texas, and she picked up the twins, and we rode back to Jackson with her, to get the twins. And I want to thank my mother-in-law a lot, because she drove a long time. Not in this time. She drove 6 hours, and then we spent the night at a nearby hotel or whatever. But I'll tell you later how she did some driving.
Yeah, cause boy. But yeah, so when she came and got us, cause we at this time here, like I was talking to my mom every day. So my mama pretty much knew what was going on. She felt something was going on wrong or whatever like that. But she never was like, come back. She knew it was something left in what we had because we would have never left ever. We dropped everything and left and moved here. But it never in my heart back then, even going through it, I never regretted or said, or we never regretted was like we wanted to go back to Mississippi. We was just keep fighting. But at the time, we didn't want our kids to suffer. So at the time, my mom was like, well, I'll just come and get the boys and then y'all can take care of what y'all need to take care of. So my mama came and got the boys, and at the time our truck was messed up too, so it was kind of like a good opportunity because our car was there. My uncle allowed me to keep my car there at his house to park it.
The Chevy Cobalt, the blue.
Yeah. And we drove, we rode back one way. Well, she came and got us. We slept in the hotel, then we went back to Jackson, and then we came right back.
Yeah.
So we did a turnaround trip.
Yeah, and it was really just to pick up the car, guys, because the Tahoe was messed up. And Jack, he was using the Ford Ranger.
Yeah, he was using the Ford Ranger. And we went there to get the car because we needed to make some moves. So we ended up getting a car. We came back. The boys were with my mom and my grandma. And so I ended up putting in some job applications. I'm like, okay, now I hadn't been back in the work field since, before the boys were even born, before 2013. I think 2012 was my last year actually working a job. So I was like, okay, now I got to get back out here because I need a job. We got to make some money. So I ended up getting a job.
Yeah. So she had the job and I was going to do insurance. So, of course I had to get a license and all that. But at least I was going to start to do the temporary license. Yeah. So our flow was I took her to work and I went back to the apartment to work on a computer, do follow-up work. So that's when I met Troy because the Cobalt could drive everywhere. So I put Louisville in my map, and had I known Louisville was closer to Dallas, it's just so weird. It felt like Louisville was closer to Fort Worth. But I drove to Louisville and we met. When I first met Troy, I thought he was gonna look different. I didn't think he was gonna look like he looked. He's a light-skinned guy and he have short hair. I thought he was gonna be like a big, chubby, dark guy. Like it was just so funny. We thought we was gonna look different than when we actually met. Yeah. So I had the high fro. I had a brown suit that was kind of too big, and I was so inspired when I did meet him. That was my confirmation. I'm a fact finder. I'm analytical, so I have to see it to believe it. And I saw those names on the board where people was making thousands of dollars a week, hustling the phones and stuff like that. So I ended up feeling good when I got back. We've been staying with Jack and Jill for about 3 weeks now, coming up on 3.5 weeks.
And those weeks wasn't not easy either. It was so much up and down. It was times where we would literally feel to leave in the middle of the night. And because of little small things and details, that was the reason why we decided to let our boys go back, because it was different, especially with people who don't have kids that don't understand. Not saying that our boys was like bad or anything, but it was just like they wanted more space to kind of like play a little bit and be themselves and all that. So it was getting like really crowded in there. So that's when my mom came and said that she'll just come get them. So fast forward to that, after the 3-week period, we started getting our stuff together. When our boys went back, we was on a hustle. We was like, okay, now we don't have our kids with us, but we got to get them back. So what we gonna do? So he got the position. He started doing stuff, started studying for the test. I had got a job in Fort Worth at the time because I applied on a Friday. The lady was like, can you come in for an interview on Monday? And I'm like, sure, hell yeah, I can come. So I put that on and I got a job, and I had a 6-week training in Fort Worth. It was a 6-week training, and we was like, we just need enough just to get by, because we knew Fort Worth wasn't the place where we wanted to actually be at, because I feel like, in our opinion, Dallas have a little bit more opportunity for what we wanted to do. So we ended up doing that for a little small period of time. I never really worked. I actually was in training and getting paid off training, so who wouldn't love that shit?
And the only job that I did have outside of the insurance, that's when I started doing door knocking.
Yeah.
I door knocked, guys, for the first time. It got to the point where I was just like, whatever job I could take. And on Craigslist, door knocking was the fastest job you can get. So I went around and I sold Green Mountain, electricity. I sold electricity. From Mississippi, we had one company, but in Texas, it's not monopolized. So a lot of companies exist here for electricity. So I sold that. That's where I built my sales skills.
And so while we were staying with Jack and Jill, we were kind of like being on the side of like, okay, what can we do? Because right now we don't have any like income coming in, but we do have that yellow card, like a food card. So we'll take up on ourselves to make groceries, whatever you guys like. We'll cook. Me and Romy took turns cooking every day, and when that would run out, you know, attitude started coming about. All type of things started coming about. We started seeing another side of them. And it got to the point where it was like the more we were doing for ourselves and trying to get out of it, because I never understood it. I mean, I know if a person comes and stay with me for a long period of time and they're like, if my space is being crowded, I would want better for them anyway. But the more we were working and trying to move forward and get our kids back, because that was our big goal. We didn't want to be in Texas without our kids. When they went, it was like game time. I didn't sleep, he didn't sleep, we was working, we was grinding. And so the more we was doing that, Jack and Jill will get upset.
Yeah.
Like, oh no,
the better we do, the worse they get.
Leave, y'all can stay here, you welcome here, da da da. We was like, no, we want, you know, better, we want to get our kids back here. We have to do something. So after they seen that we wasn't going to like fall for it and fall for the trap or whatever, it's kind of, it didn't escalate, but it got to the point where we was just like, we'll just sleep in our car.
Yeah.
Our kids wasn't with us. It was just like, what do we have to lose? We came.
Yeah, because it was situation after situation. When we had our kids there, Jill would complain about Brittany touching her comb. You know, she didn't leave hair in it or none of that. But I guess, I don't know, you know, she was feeling some type of way. She didn't want her to touch the comb. Things had to be just right, even though this person wanted us to be there with our kids and knew that it wasn't a lot of space. You know, we tried our best, and like I'm the type of person, I try to clean every little thing. And it got to that point, guys, where Jack couldn't look me in my face and tell me anything. Right when we were about to go to the park just to relax and think about what we were gonna do, it was Brittany's day off. Brittany wanted a tortilla pizza. You know, she was hungry, so she cooked that. She washed her dish. But it was a few crumbs on the stove. But Jack saw it. You know, he didn't say anything to me when he seen me, but he went to work and we went to the park. And next thing you know, he'd send me a text saying, y'all know you left the stove nasty.
But this text was after, though, when we told them, because it was a Saturday and I was off on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. We were going apartment hunting because at this point, it was like, instead of us trying to jump to Dallas, we'll just graduate. We'll stay in Fort Worth, and then we'll go to Dallas. So he asked us, he texted you and was like, what's up, what you doing now? This before he even mentioned the crumbs. He was like, we are out, you know, apartment searching, kind of looking for a place so we can, you know, move out. He sent us a message and got upset and was like, oh, I forgot to tell y'all left crumbs.
Yeah, he said, y'all know y'all left the stove nasty. Crumbs from a tortilla pizza, guys, that's a flat little pizza. It was just a few crumbs. I mean, I don't mind knocking the crumbs off or whatever, but it was these games. It was almost like being around people that wanted us to stay down and need them. We didn't stay with them no longer than a month. We didn't pass a month at all.
No, we didn't. Like, I think it was like 3 weeks and some change.
Yeah.
And then we left. We had got all our stuff. Because we still had the truck, right?
We made a lot of moves too because we got the cell phones.
I hope we're not all over the place because everything is so much happening in one period of time. Because we had the truck, but the truck at the time, well, when we got ready to go and sleep in the car, because we said we'll just sleep in the car. Our kids not with us, we'll sleep in the car. And because I still had to go to work and stuff like that, and I was just gonna find other places like a hotel or like a gym to shower in, so I can get up and go to work every morning. I had to be at work at 8. So, and I worked downtown Fort Worth at the time. So anybody know how downtown traffic is? It's really, really nuts. So I had to get out there, and we found this park that we was gonna actually sleep in. We had the quilt, we had the pillows, we had prepared how we was gonna sleep in.
And pause, guys, pause. They are the reason that they acted so negative towards us. The truck that got repossessed. So all motivation went out the door to even help us. So back play when we were at the park after the stove was
that was another reason. Yeah, it got repossessed. So after it got repossessed, the motivation of wanting to even help us at this point was like, what's the point? Then we were low on the food. They didn't even understand how it worked because we tried to budget with us when we had the stamps and stuff. We know how much we had to spend, how much is not. Anybody know when you add in an adult, especially 2 adults, it's costly. It goes down quickly. So when the food started running out, their attitudes would change.
Yeah.
If we didn't cook food, or if he didn't cook, I didn't cook, the attitudes like flip flop. So we was pretty much tired of it because it was like a mental thing, like a mind thing, and we were already stressed, worried about our kids not being with us. So we just decided to stay in the car. We packed up our stuff and we was like, we for the
yeah, you know, we just was like, we just gonna go. We took all our stuff, put it in the car. And we're just like, we're not gonna deal with this because we wasn't progressing. A lot of times people just want to use you. You know, they don't want to make moves, but we were making moves. We truly wanted to do good in Texas.
Yep.
So we met this lady at the park. It was so random. We met this lady, and we helped her. We just dropped her off at home. She was crying. She didn't have no shoes on. She asked, could we pray with her and all this? And we ended up dropping her off at home. And it took us about maybe 20 minutes to deal with that situation. And we came back to the park because we really feel for people. Me and Brittany are social people, you know. I met the elderly gentleman that stayed near Jack and Jill apartment. He gave me a book, Zig Ziglar, Born to Win. I read that book. It changed my life. We met the neighbors downstairs from them. They gave us a crock pot as a gift. You know, so we are people.
Everywhere we go, it's like we was having favor.
Yeah.
Favor was upon us. Everywhere we went, people were talking to us. Even despite of us going through what we had just went through when we met the elderly lady at the park that was crying, we had literally just left Jack and Jill apartment.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out in the stress,
trying
to figure out, we was homeless at this point. We was like, we don't know what we're going to do. But it was like God just kind of like tested us. He sent this lady here to us, crying out for us. And I remember holding her hand and I prayed. And a lot of people around was like, you know, teary eyed and was just like, that was nice of y'all. But they didn't even know that we didn't have anything.
No.
We didn't tell nobody. We just did it. I felt bad for her. I still have her information in my phone, like her notes when her birthday is and all of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I still have it to this day. It's in my phone.
Wow. And it's crazy because after we dealt with that situation, I had already told Troy that I got to stop on the studying, not get licensed and all this because we got to deal with some stuff and we about to be homeless. So he had called me back and told us, can we come to Dallas?
He was like, can y'all make y'all way here?
Yeah, can y'all make y'all way to Dallas? Can y'all at least get to Dallas?
We had $40 left on the yellow card.
Oh yeah, because we went and bought some crap from Kroger, like the little bread and ham
and all of that. So that's all we had literally until the next time it rolled in or whatever. So we only had, I think I had to ask my mom to send me some money because I was doing that too. In the time period of us being at Jack and Jill house, we didn't have no income coming in because we was waiting on a check for him when he was working.
Yeah.
And so in between the time we was waiting on his first check, you know how when you get a job, you have like a week and a whole or two. So we was waiting on that. My mom sent us money to, you know, like literally bridge us through and to bridge us through to get Pampers Pampers, pull-ups or whatever, wipes and stuff like that. And we got to the point where we had to keep it a secret that we was even getting money because it was like they expected us almost to kind of like use every little bit that we had to take care of him too. Yeah, and it was just like, it was not fair. It was just like we were trying to really get on our feet and really try to get stuff together, you know.
So at the point we was done. Like we wasn't standing there. We helped the lady out. Troy said, "Can we get to Dallas?" And we just did it. You know.
Yep, we left.
We drove to Dallas, and guys, when I say I felt this difference. Like we was driving, and by the time we got close to the airport, I started seeing the planes, and the city started growing on me. Like I started feeling Dallas, and we pulled up. Oh man, we was like, wow, like this is nice. And you know, we ended up meeting him. We met him and his significant other, and we just sat back and talked to them. We met them, and you know, we ended up going to Pizza Hut, me and Troy, and I left you at the house and with her. And we spent the night there. Their daughter wasn't there, so we ended up, you know, laying in her bed. And you know, we had a peace of mind. Like it almost felt like a dream because here we are, these Mississippi kids. We just move out on faith, and we meet people. You know, and we moved to Dallas. We was in Fort Worth, but we staying there. So that's how we ended up in Dallas. You know, we was with them first. We spent the night one day. The next day we was okay. We did good. Yeah. We thankful.
We refreshed and we about to go.
Yeah. We thankful that we had that opportunity, but we're not gonna like be a burden on anybody. Me and Brittany was ready to be tough, so we about to go back to the park because the plan was while she worked. We're gonna go to like a bent tree apartment, and that's where we're gonna stay at or whatever. So when we was gonna go back to the park, I mean, I didn't expect Troy to call us back or none of that. When we was on the highway, he called and said, "Can we come back? Like, we need to just stay with them for a while to get on our feet." And man, I mean, I couldn't believe it. These people were strangers.
Didn't even know me, didn't know him, didn't know us. Nothing.
No, they're from Gary, Indiana, another rough place, and they took us in. And our kids was in Mississippi with her mom.
Because I had got to the point where I was like having mom guilt. I was like freaking out. I was like, man, I miss my kids. Like, because at that time, they didn't even want to like talk on the phone a lot. They were on their phones. And like when I would call them, they'll talk to me and stuff. But I would feel like, oh my God, my kids, they hate me, or they don't want to talk to me, or da 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 da.
Yeah, because it
was just so much. I had that mom guilt pressure on me so bad. And I was still working at Fort Worth. And Fort Worth was like 50 minutes away from Dallas.
So keep in mind, guys, this is how we are now. Like, we were at the point where we would stand with them, and Brittany was working in Fort Worth. 50 minutes. Highway was extremely, like, scary, dangerous, all that.
I had never drove really on a highway or intersection or nothing, because in Mississippi, I always took the street routes. I never really did highway, and I was freaking out. I was like, how the hell I'm gonna do this? But guess what? Every time that I would like get panicky, I thought about my kids. My kids' faces would pop up in my head, and I was like, I gotta do this for them. I don't care. And then at this time, the Chevy Cobalt started acting crazy. We didn't even realize till now we don't have a car anymore.
We
that
were
we
putting
were
the wrong gas
in the car. And it was starting to cut off. And I'm just like, what is really going on? But we didn't stop.
But we're gonna pause here, guys, because like I said, we're breaking this story up into 3 parts, and this is just part 2. So just to give you a rundown, we were at the point now where we stand with Troy and his significant other. So everything was good. Our kids were safe in Mississippi with her mom. We have a peace of mind. We are around calm people because we never had a bad vibe with them. We never had a problem. That lets you know we weren't the issue. With the situation with Jack and Jill. So Jack and Jill, we had graduated from that, and we are in Texas, but Brittany working in Fort Worth. So we'll see you guys on the next video, and this is part 2. We're telling you the struggle story we had from when we moved from Mississippi out on faith, and when we got to Texas, and when we got situated. So part 2, guys. We'll see you on the next video.
Peace.
Peace.